Hi and welcome to another interesting lesson on this channel. In today's class, I will be walking you through on how to achieve a basic bodice dress pattern professionally. Yes, a basic bodice dress pattern professionally. So stay to the end of this video. Do not skip on any step in order not to miss out on anything. So this line I have drawn there is actually our starting line, and that will be serving as our shoulder line, and we'll proceed by taking our vertical measurement, shoulder to bust, shoulder to waist. That is what I marked there. I first of all mark our shoulder to bust. We are going to connect them straight line. This shoulder to bust first, this is our shoulder to waist. So we place our tape rule again. We are taking our shoulder to hip line. These are the vertical measurement, and shoulder to the knee line. That is the length of your gown or the length of your dress. We have taken shoulder to bust, shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip, and shoulder to our knee line, or shoulder to your desired gown length. So you'll be connecting the line straight like this, and this is our bust line, our waist line, our hip line, and this is our knee line. So we'll be marking our neck width of 3 inches. This is 3 inches I'm marking for the neck width, which is subject to change. So our shoulder is 15 divided by 2, we have 7.5. That is what I marked there. Coming down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. You'll be connecting the 3 inches to that 1 inch this way, because our shoulders are not straight. So we are marking our armhole depth. You can make use of what you have at the shoulder line, or you calculate it this way: your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. Whatever value you have, you input it there. Whatever value you have, if you divide your bust by 6 and plus 1.5. So we'll be connecting it straight down this way. This is for our armhole depth. For me here, I have 8 inches, and you extend the line outward this way. So we'll be taking our round measurements. Yes, for our bust here, our bust is 38 divided by 4, we have 9.5, and we'll be adding 0.25 for ease allowance. So for the waist, we're working with waist 32 divided by 4, we have 8 inches. I'll be adding a dart of 1.5, that is 1.5 inches at the waist. So that is what you're marking there. For the hip, our hip is 42 divided by 4. We have it to be 10.5 plus 0.25 of ease. So at the chest line, we also mark what we have at the bust line, which is 9.5 plus 0.25 ease. So we'll be connecting the points together this way, from the bust line to the waist and to the hip line, like so. You connect from the bust to the waist, and from the waist to the hip. This is it. So at that chest line, we'll just draw a straight line this way. So whatever we have at the hip line, we'll be putting the same value at the knee line. We have 10.75, so the same 10.75 I marked at the knee line. and connect it straight down. We don't need any sharp angle. That's why I'm blending it. So we're almost done. For our armhole depth, we'll be dividing it by 2 and we are going in by 0.5 and we'll connect the line this way. From that shoulder to the 0.5 and we curve it out this way to the chest line. So this is it for our front armhole. For our neck depth, we are working with 3 inches. Neck width, we also mark 3 inches. So this neck width and neck depth is subject to change depending on the look you want to achieve. This is actually a high neck, 3 by 3. If you're on the bigger side, you can make use of 3.5. So this is it for our neck. So let's take out our dart. At the waist, we added 1.5. So before that, let's get our nipple to nipple measurements in order to guide us. Our nipple to nipple measurement here is 4 inches. And we connect it straight. We mark the 4 inches at the waist, at the bust line and at the hip line. So at the waist I added 1.5 inches for that. So we'll be taking out that dart now, which is 0.75 on both sides. And from the bust line we are coming down by 1 inch. From the hip line we are going up by 2 inches. And we'll be connecting the points together like so. This is the 1.5 inches dart. Yes, the value I added to the waist. Remember our waist is 8 and I added 1.5, making it 9.5. So I've taken away that 1.5 and I'll be achieving a waist of 32. So we have a difference between our shoulder to waist from the front and the back. The front is longer by 2 inches and we'll be taking it as that. So we're marking the 2 inches and I'm going inward by 1 inch from the bust line and we'll be connecting the points this way. The front is longer by 2 inches. The front is 17 while the back is 15. So that is why we have added side dart in order to take care of that excess. So if you want to tape it, I went in there by 1 inch and I'm connecting it from the hip line down like so. This is if you want to pencil the gown. You go in by 1 inch and connect it to the hip line. But if you want it straight, work with the first line. So let's drop the back. You have the neck width as well to be 3 inches, the shoulder to be 7.5, and we came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and we are connecting the 3 inches to the 1 inch mark. For the back neck depth, I came down by just 1 inch. So shoulder to back waistline we have 15. But for the front we have 17. So we're connecting it straight this way. So we'll just extend the bust line, the chest line as well here, because they are on the same line. So for our armhole, we'll also be marking the same armhole depth, which is 8 inches. For our bust, we are marking our bust circumference, which is 9.5 plus 0.25. exactly what we have at the front. 0.25 is for the ease. So let's measure what we have from the shoulder to the hip, and we'll be putting it at the back also, the same value from waist to hip. This way. So for the back, at the waist we have waist 32 divided by 4, we have 8 inches, and we also added 1.5 inches for that. At the 10.5 plus 0.25 for ease, and we'll connect the points together. We use our hip curve to connect from the waist to the hip. This is it for the back. So also measure what we have from the hip to the knee line in order to input the same value at the back, like so. You will connect the lines together. Whatever you have at that hip, we also mark it at the knee line. You connect it straight down. So we came in by 1 inch at the front, so the same thing we are doing at the back as well, in order to pencil the gown. If you want it straight, you can work with the first line. You can as much come in by 1.5 depending on how pencil you want it. So at the waist we want to take out our darts, and we are marking our nipple to nipple measurement first. We connect it straight down. So at the waist, remember we added 1.5 inches dart, but at the waist here we are marking 1 inch. That is half an inch on both sides. What I'm marking there is 1 inch. So at the center back we'll be removing the remaining half an inch from there, giving us a total of 1.5 inches dart. So we also came up by 2 inches at the waist, at the hip, and connect the lines. So this is it for our back dart. We took 1 inch dart at the waist and half an inch at the center back, and we'll be connecting it this way. We also came up by 2 inches from the hip line, and we connect it like so. This to eliminate zipper bulge and make the back to relax flat. So you can also come in by 1 inch at that knee line as well if you want to contour that place, and come down by 1.5 or 2 inches and connect it this way. It's absolutely by choice, you can leave it straight. So this is it. We're almost done with our pattern. For the back armhole, we'll be dividing it by 2, and we just connect this way. This is it for our back armhole. So we're almost done with our pattern. If you close up the bust dart, you'll find out that the waist for the front and the back will match up perfectly well. So we'll be closing up our bust dart before cutting out this pattern. We have closed up the bust dart and cut out the pattern, and this is what we have. You can see that when you close up the bust dart, the waistline for the front and the back will match perfectly well. So this is it on how to draft a simplified basic bodice dress pattern.